When your cat breaks eye contact and quietly looks away, do you actually know what just happened between the two of you? You probably thought they got distracted. Something outside caught their eye, maybe a sound from another room, and that sounds reasonable. But here's what most owners never realize. Holding your cat's gaze, even for a few seconds too long, reads as a direct threat in their world. Not an accident, not a coincidence, a challenge. And they've been responding to that every single time without ever telling you. What I want you to pay close attention to is what your cat's sleeping position reveals at the very end of this, because it's the final verdict on every rule we're about to cover. And once you understand what it means, you may never look at where they sleep the same way again. Most owners assume that making eye contact with their cat is a loving thing. You look at them, they look back. It feels like a moment of connection, like you're sharing something. And that instinct isn't wrong. It's just built entirely on human wiring, not cat wiring. In the wild, a prolonged stare between two cats is the silence right before something breaks. It's a dominance signal, ancient and hardwired and absolute. There's no version of it that reads as warmth. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that cats actively move away from people who stare directly at them, but move closer and stay closer to people who blink slowly and then look away first. That's not a quirk. That's your cat telling you the rule you never knew existed. The right move is simpler than most people expect. A soft gaze, a slow blink, and then you look away first. That small gesture, in their language, translates to something close to, "I'm not a threat. I trust you. We're okay." And once you start doing it consistently, your cat will start doing it back. But eye contact is just the beginning. Because the rule most owners break next happens every single time they reach out to touch their cat, and they never even see it coming. Why does your cat go from purring on your lap to suddenly biting your hand? Nothing changed. You were petting them exactly the same way you always do. And then, out of nowhere, teeth. Most owners take it personally. Some even think their cat is unpredictable or aggressive or just strange. But here's what was actually happening. Your cat sent you a warning, then another, then another. And when none of them worked, they used the only signal they had left. Cats have a neurological threshold for physical touch. It's not a mood, it's not a decision they make, it's biological. Once you cross that threshold, repeated stimulation begins to irritate the nerve receptors beneath their skin, and what started as pleasure becomes something they genuinely cannot tolerate anymore. Think of someone rubbing the exact same spot on your forearm, over and over, long after you stopped enjoying it. At first, it feels fine. Then it becomes uncomfortable. Then it becomes unbearable. The signals were always there before the bite. The tail beginning to flick, the ears dropping slightly, the skin rippling in a wave along their back. Most owners miss every single one of those signals because they're focused on how peaceful the moment feels, how warm, how quiet, how perfect. The rule here isn't complicated. Pet in shorter sessions, watch for the signals, and the moment you see any of them, stop before they have to ask you to. Let your cat be the one to decide when they want more contact, not you. That's not rejection. That's your cat teaching you exactly how they want to be loved. And what comes next is where it starts to feel personal. You know that blanket your cat has claimed? That one specific corner of the couch they always return to? The old cardboard box sitting near the window that you keep meaning to throw away? Most owners move those things without a second thought. You're cleaning up. You're reorganizing. It takes 30 seconds and you don't think about it again. But your cat experiences something entirely different in that moment. Cats don't navigate their home the way you do. They map their entire world through scent and territory. Every spot they choose to rest in gets marked, slowly, deliberately, with pheromones deposited from glands in their face and paws. That marking is their way of saying, "This is mine, this is safe, I belong here." It's not random, it's a decision. And when you move that spot, even to another corner of the same room, you don't just rearrange furniture. You erase a layer of security your cat spent real time building around themselves. A study from the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery identified environmental disruption as one of the leading triggers of stress in indoor cats. Not illness, not conflict, just change. Something as small as moving their bed to the other side of the room can lead to anxiety, loss of appetite, and litter box avoidance that seems to come from nowhere. The rule is to respect what they've claimed. If you absolutely need to move something, do it slowly. Shift it a little at a time over several days so your cat can follow the scent, adjust, and rebuild that sense of safety without feeling like it disappeared overnight. Do you talk to your cat while they're eating? Maybe you stand close to the bowl and say something soft while they're mid-meal. It feels harmless, warm even, like you're keeping them company. But your cat's brain isn't receiving any of that warmth. In the wild, mealtime is one of the most exposed moments in a cat's entire day. Head down, senses narrowed to the food directly in front of them, guard lower than at any other point. That vulnerability is ancient, and it doesn't disappear just because they live indoors and the food comes from a bag. So when you stand over their bowl, talking to them, reaching down to pet them, just hovering nearby, part of their survival brain activates. They can't fully commit to eating because part of their attention is now tracking you. You can't see that stress happening, but you can see what it leaves behind. Cats who feel pressured during meals start eating too fast, which leads to vomiting. They start guarding the bowl or avoiding it altogether. In homes with more than one cat, the same thing can happen even without you in the room. When bowls are placed too close together, the proximity of another cat creates that same low-level threat, the same inability to fully relax into the meal. The rule is one of the easiest on this list. When your cat is eating, leave them alone. No talking, no touching, no standing close. Give each cat in your home their own separate space to eat. Those few minutes at the bowl are theirs completely. And if this is already changing how you see your cat, hit like and subscribe so we can reach more owners who genuinely want to understand what their animal has been trying to tell them all along. And we haven't even gotten to where your cat sleeps at night yet. And that one matters more than everything else on this list combined. When you come home after a long day, you put down your bag, check your phone, maybe change your shoes, and somewhere in that routine, your cat was right there, watching you walk in, waiting at the door or observing from across the room with that still, focused attention only cats have. Most owners walk straight past that moment. You're tired, you're thinking about dinner, you'll get to them in a few minutes. And to you, that's nothing. It's not a choice. It's just the rhythm of coming home. But to your cat, that moment was a deliberate offering. Cats don't greet out of habit. When your cat positions themselves at the door or holds their gaze on you as you walk in, that's a conscious act of acknowledgement. Researchers who study feline social behavior have documented that cats form structured greeting rituals with the people they trust, the same rituals they use with other cats in their colony. A slow, unhurried approach, tail raised straight up, the highest signal of friendly intent in their entire body language vocabulary. Sometimes a soft chirp or trill, a sound cats make almost exclusively for beings they feel genuinely safe with. What they're communicating in that moment is not complicated. I noticed you came back. I'm glad you're here. When you walk past that without responding, your cat doesn't protest. They don't follow you around demanding acknowledgement. They do something quieter and more lasting. They file it away. And over time, those missed greetings accumulate. Your cat stops coming to the door. The chirping stops. Not because their feelings changed, because they learned that you don't participate in that ritual and they stopped offering it. The fix requires almost nothing. When you walk in, give your cat a slow blink. Say something quiet in their direction. 3 seconds, maybe less. That's the entire exchange they were waiting for. Here's what we've been building toward this whole time. Where your cat chooses to sleep is the most honest thing they will ever communicate to you, and most owners have never once stopped to read it. A cat who sleeps on your chest, or pressed right against your face, is making a statement that has nothing to do with warmth or comfort. They are placing themselves at their most defenseless, in the deepest unconsciousness their body enters, directly beside the one being they trust more than any other. Sleep is when every survival instinct they carry tells them to hide, to find somewhere enclosed and safe and hidden. And instead, your cat chooses you, deliberately, every night. That's not habit. That's complete surrender. A cat who sleeps at the foot of the bed still trusts you, but they're keeping a small amount of distance, a clear exit route if something changes. They want proximity. They want to be near you, but they're still learning your patterns, still accumulating evidence that you're safe to be fully vulnerable around. And a cat who sleeps in a separate room entirely, that's not a personality type. It's not independence. It might be a quiet, honest record of every unspoken rule that was broken too many times. The stares that registered as challenges, the petting that went past the point they could tolerate, the greetings that came and went without a response, the safe spots that disappeared without warning. None of it is permanent. Cats don't hold grudges the way we do. Every single day is a new set of data they're collecting about you, watching to see if the patterns have shifted, if the rules are being followed now, if it's finally safe to move a little closer. And now that you know what the rules actually are, you can start answering that question differently. Tonight, when your cat chooses where to sleep, you'll finally know exactly what they're saying.